Hello everyone, my name is Tessa and welcome back to the Stitchy Bug. I know it's been a minute. I'm trying to get more active on social media. It's going to be harder come September once I start permanent school, but right now over the next month and 2 months I'm going to be trying to post a little bit more, do a little bit more crafting. Today's really just a catch up, kind of like a monthly update for June, because I did some stitching in June, but like the last couple of days of June I haven't really been stitching just because I have been taking the gym more seriously, which I have been for a while, but I am planning on doing my very first bodybuilding show next April, so now it's kind of like I need to go, I need to be more consistent. I've started my very first cut, I finished my first bulk things. There's so many other things going on that I haven't really had the time to be able to sit down and film for you guys. Without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing I want to do is the whips that I've been working on. So the first real rip that I have is a wolf. I've done stitch recipes with it that have the designer and everything, so I'll put that information down in the description box below. But she is almost done. I am missing a thread color. I don't know what happened to it. My threads have been all disorganized. We'll get to that in a little bit. But she's super pretty. She's almost done. I'll probably be able to finish most of it today and then go get that thread that I'm missing tomorrow to finish her off. And the only back stitching on it is the eyes, which is pretty lovely because back stitching and me do not get along. So if you have any tips, tricks, or tools I use to help with backstitching and keeping it neat, let me know in the comments below, because that would be lovely. Same with French knots. My French knots always look awful. Ignore the threads hanging off of it. I kind of do a hybrid parking, especially here because she's pretty full coverage. This is what it is looking like. I really love all the pretty blues in this border that's on the side. Now this was already started for me, so I do believe these belonged to my great grandma's. Unfortunately she passed away in January, but she started this for me, so in her honor I've taken it upon myself to finish it. It will be watched, the hoop marks will come out, and this one will probably, I'll either frame it myself or get it custom framed because it is a memory of her and it's so stinking cute. I really love it. The only downside I have to this one is the way I decided to do the thread. So they're hanging off these like paper fluff drops, but they keep ripping. So maybe I'll keep them for smaller projects, but I don't think I'll ever really use them again because they just keep ripping and disintegrating and falling apart because they're made out of paper, and with the way I draw up my threads it becomes really, really hard. Yeah, I'll show you. For reference, I'll show you how I pull out my threads to see if anyone has any tips or tricks on how to make this how to make it a little bit easier. Alright, so here are my floss drops. Here I'm going to take my needle. Let's find one that's not all screwed up. This one. And see how it's like that little knot? I kind of go in and I pull up without ripping it a thread like so, and that's how I do it, and then I kind of just straighten it out so it doesn't get tangled. I would really appreciate some help in figuring out how I can prevent those from ripping, just because they are the second project I worked on. This one has been put off in timeout for the time being. It is my Bella Filipina, the Mad Tea Party, and it is stitched on a custom dyed fabric by Sparklies. She is stunning. She is beautiful. She is pretty. I love her. I've been working on her for 2 years. Now you probably can't, but at the bottom here, I'm off by 1 stitch, which means all this beading here will no longer line up. So if you guys can let me know what I can do for that, so I don't either one have to order a new chart and then new Krenix and treasure braid and then have to rip her all out, or order new fabric, order a new chart, new treasure braids, new Krenix, things like that. Spend a whole bunch of money to restart her all over again, because honestly I really don't want to have to restart her, but I think I don't have a choice. Because now my beading, if there was no beading, I would say I could fudge it. But there is beading right where that is, and it's not going to line up. So I can't like add an extra bead or anything in the design to make it look pretty. Like it's just going to look off and awful. So if you guys know what to do, I'd be more than willing to answer any questions. This is the second project I've had to stop because of something that happened. I had a really big hate at one point, and about 2 years ago, my dog decided to eat it. And there were holes in the fabrics. I ruined all the threads. It was in my thread organizers, my Pacos, and all that. So it's unfortunate. She's been placed off into timeout. Now, one thing that does really need to happen, because I got a whole bunch of kits that I want to, or projects I want to start, is the state of my bobbin box. This is what she currently looks like. Nothing is in order. Nothing is at all. I have a giant pile of threads on my desk that also now need to be organized. So that's something that needs to be taken care of. And if you have any ideas on DMC like spreadsheets so I could track what I have in stock, because I'd really like to get a full set of DMCs at some point, that would be greatly appreciated, because this has turned into a giant disaster. Now, without further ado, you guys have all seen these kits before. I just went through and got rid of the ones, or sold the ones that I wasn't going to ever really stitch. These are all kits from, I do believe, either my grandma or great grandma, same as that wolf one that I just showed you. This one here is already pretty much done. It just needs to be finished. But she has 2 more of these little bells that I want to do come Christmas, and they come with all the threads. They're just not organized. And then there's this little house, and they come at the back, and they come with the stuff to finish them. But they're so cute. They're nice little smalls. Not going to take me very long. This next one I'm hemming and hawing about just because it's on either navy blue or black Ada, and I've never stitched on a dark fabric before. Really, they're all 18 count Adas, but and I don't think they make these anymore, but I love it because it reminds me of my husky Mocha. Obviously it's a wolf, but it's just a very similar coloring to him. I love the big shadow above it. It's so pretty. Now this one is falling apart and does not have any threads with it, but it is this cute little eagle. It has been started. That's all that's started on it. The needle is in there. So I would love to kit this up and start it. I probably do have the colors for it already in my stack. Now this one is not started. It is another eagle, but I am not going to do the words. So I am just going to stitch the eagle part. Last 2. There's this cute little one that says, "A friend is a great blessing." And then this one is so darn adorable. It's a little bear, a bunch of flowers. Now the last one, but that's what it looks like. I really just have to finish the border in the words, and then I will have another This one will probably also be framed, or maybe I'll stitch it into a pillow, sew it into a pillow or something. But pretty much all of these little kits came from my grandma, my great grandma, and I love them in honor of them. And it just, it's nice to see that we have the same interests. I haven't done really any crocheting lately. I did finish a blanket. I'll show you the bottom, but it's done completely in waffle stitch. So each little square is like a waffle. That one is for sale on my Etsy. I'll drop the link down below. And I actually use a spinner to generate the color, so I put in a bunch of yarn I want to use and just spun a reel for every row to get a color. That's why the pattern is all erratic and all over the place, but it's all done in one stitch, and I think it turned out very lovely. It is a bit smaller of a throw though, but I made sure it's long enough, at least for myself being 5'2", that I can cuddle up with it in my bed or sit with it over my legs when I'm doing a stitching or something like that. But that's pretty much it. Now I have a lot to share with you guys this month. Hopefully I'll see you throughout the month and then again at the end of the month. That's all for now. Bye bye.